Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over the Galarian expedition and discussing the shiny Galarian birds and how you're going to be able to get one of those, or at least a few tips to help you find one, because there's going to be a few caveats in between there as usual when it comes down to these things. So with that said, if you do enjoy these types of news videos, if you can give it a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. And let's go ahead and hop right into this here. So the Galarian expedition is going to be going down October 4th at 10 a.m. until October 11th at 8 p.m. local time, in which you're going to be seeing the introduction of the shiny Galarian birds off of the daily incense. Now they do go on to say a few things here: if you're very lucky. Not if you're lucky, if you're very lucky. Because, well, one, the Galarian birds are extremely rare to even show up off of the daily incense. And two, to encounter a shiny after that rarity has already been in place is going to be absolutely extreme. Now, if you're scrolling through social media and you're looking at all these people finding it, well, that's a condensed of all the people finding their stuff. So it's not like you're being left out. You're just seeing the best of the best at the very peak there. So just keep that in mind and don't feel like you're left out. But we're going to get into some more tips on how to catch those. So make sure you stay tuned. The spawns for this event, for just your wild spawns, are going to be Nidoran, male and female, Abra, Magnemite, Aeron, Wailmer, Spheal, Beldum, Shinx, Fungus, Detonate, Wooloo, and then you might encounter a Chansey, Absol, or a Moga. Okay? Not too crazy. And then we also have another pretty cool thing being introduced into this event here. That is going to be Zamazenta. And it is also going to be introduced as a shiny. The shiny does look great. I do believe it's a nice bright pink. So you do have that to also hunt as well. Personally, for me, I was able to actually get 2 shiny Zacians. I got another one this morning, thanks to everybody who's been inviting me. And that one did turn out to be a pretty damn good IV, but I'm not powering up another Zacian right now. No, thank you. Although the shiny is absolutely on par. You are going to see a few field research tasks revolving around XP as well as Stardust. And we did see in the data mine that we might be able to see what we are going to actually get in the task regarding the particular Pokemon, because it could have a pool of 3 different Pokemon within a particular task. But it looks like Niantic is going to allow you to actually see what you're going to be able to collect. And if you haven't registered that Pokemon, then I'm assuming it would be a silhouette. All right, moving on to the first kind of tip. All right, I'm not going to, I don't know if I can classify this as a tip, but we're going to get into what you need to know to catch these shiny Galarian birds. So you're going to be seeing the Master Research Master Ball, which is going to be $7.99 or equivalent in your area. You're going to get yourself a Master Ball, as well as 8,000 XP, 10,000 Stardust, an encounter with an event-themed Pokemon such as Galarian Surfetch, Galarian Mr. Mime, and more. Don't know why they don't just name it, but you're going to be able to encounter a couple of things there. All right, so essentially you're paying for the Master Ball. Of course, you do have a few other perks on the side here, but is it worth the price? I'm going to have to say, you know, it's really kind of not. All right, but if you're really into this game and you do not want one of these Galarian birds to slip away, then this is your opportunity. But there's also a few other things to go over too, okay? And that is the fact that the Galarian birds have been confirmed by Niantic to not run if they're shiny. Now, there's a few little things that are gonna be happening when this does start, and that is gonna be the fact that you can throw 100 Pokeballs and it can break out of every single one of those until you finally catch it. So essentially it will stay there, it will stay on screen if the Galarian bird is shiny off your daily incense, but it is going to probably take a whole crap load of balls. I mean, you could get a critical catch on your second throw. All right, so there is that potential to happen. But if you do not have it shiny and you're just trying to catch it, you know, you encounter a Galarian bird for once, and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing is going to run no matter what. Well, then you do have the Master Ball, and to each their own. I can't tell you whether or not this is worth it or not for your situation. I personally do buy them all up though, so that's just me. All right, so for the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter the shiny Galarian, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres if you're very lucky. All right, so let's go over a few more tips here. Okay, let's get it on. First of all, if you encounter a shiny, you're not going to have to worry about it running away, because apparently they're going to be staying. So says Niantic, as they did confirm this. If you encounter a regular one, then of course it's going to run away after the first throw. More than likely, you have like a 99% chance of it running away, and I guess it can just stay on screen if it did break out, but you're going to most likely have to use a Master Ball. Now, if you, here, we're all right, hold on, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start this video right about now. And now let's talk about these tips here. All right, so there is a little thing with Dialga called Roar Time, right? You got Roar Time, which is going to be able to allow you to stop your particular times on your incense, including the daily incense. All right, you see where we're going with this? Now I'm using a regular incense because I'm not trying to use my daily one right now. I'm going to do that later when I go for my hike. I'm just going to do this as an example for you, as well as turning on a lucky egg. So going into my Dialgas, we have Roar of Time here, and you can do this in increments of, I do believe, 2 hours, and it is going to cost you 100,000 Stardust if you do that. But it really depends on how much you really want these shiny Galarian Birds. Now, it's obviously not going to be guaranteed if you do this as well, but if you do stop the time for your daily incense and continuously expand the time over and over again, the chances of you encountering a Galarian Bird once this event does start, or a shiny, is going to be higher, I suppose, right? Again, very, very lucky, as they stated. You might encounter a regular one that's not shiny, but I'm just giving you a few tips. So first one is going to be Roar of Time to stop those timers so you can expand your daily incense even longer. Another tip is going to be this. As this video does play here, it's going to be the Go Plus Plus device, okay? So if you're somebody who likes to use auto catchers or whatever the case may be, maybe you're using already the old Go Plus, then you really don't have to worry about this, okay? But I'm going to give you a bit of a tip here. What you're going to want to do is turn it on to Ultra Ball. Now, you can use Great Ball, or you can even use the Pokeballs, okay? But the tip is to turn off auto catch while you are doing this so that you don't have them obviously run away on you, okay? And if you do have Ultra Balls, or say the Great Balls on manual push, well, that's the only way, unless you do have it modified, which mine isn't, then what you're gonna have to do is, or what you can do, is collect a lot more Pokemon in the process, and pay attention to your screen, as if one of these birds does pop up on there, then you're gonna be hand catching this, obviously. And if you do get a shiny, remember, you do not need to use that Master Ball. I would recommend Golden Raz, Curve Throw, try to hit that excellent, and remember that the shinies do not run, so you have as many times as you can possibly throw, or at least as much as inventory items that you have to sustain that situation. So if you have a ton of Golden Raz and a ton of Ultra Balls, you'll be perfectly fine. So as we do get into this event, make sure you are loaded up on Golden Raspberries as well as Ultra Balls if you do encounter one of these shinies, as they won't run from you. And then when it comes down to the Master Ball, that's solely up to you. If you just want to get the situation over with, or maybe you're running low on balls and you're like, you know what, I just encountered a shiny, I understand it's not going to run, but I'm still going to use my Master Ball, then go ahead, okay? But I do not recommend that you do that, all right? I'm personally not going to. Although I am going to wait for other reports, because you can never take Niantic's word at face value, because every time they say something, or at least most of the time, it always turns up being not completely accurate, to say the least, okay? You guys know what I'm coming from, and gals, right? All right, so essentially, final tips. You're going to use Roar of Time. You're going to stop the timer on your daily incenses for however long you want, however much rare candies, go and do whatever you got to do. That's number one. Stop that timer to expand it so you can have much longer than 15 minutes for these events. Next is using the Go Plus and using Ultra or Great Balls, so you can simply just catch more Pokemon as you're doing this in the process. And if you, by accident, by just some magical accident, you push it while one of the Galarian Birds are out there, at least you're throwing a Great or an Ultra Ball, although you should be paying attention, okay? And that's pretty much it, folks, okay? So get ready for this here. And are the Galarian Birds good? Well, yeah, it seems like Moltres is leaning more towards one of the best ones at this point now. The most usable Pokemon here. Zapdos is pretty cool. It does have counter, although it has been nerfed. But, you know, it's doing still fine in the raids. But I don't know if that's going to be something you're going to really want to use as a fighting type. But say if you get a 100 or a 98 or something really good in a lucky trade, then definitely worth your power up, because that's my personal favorite looking bird. And I love the fact that they look like they're old forms as far as the shinies are concerned. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I'm going to stop rambling and yapping your ear off. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated, folks. So get excited for this event and the shiny Galarian Birds. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.